Good morning, everybody. So today is October 13th. Got a good question today that somebody posted in the Linchpin Private Track, the Facebook group, a new member from CJ. I'll leave his last name out of it. This is CJ's Rick, I see it. Good morning, Rick. This is CJ's question. Question here. If the workout takes you 6 to 10 minutes, what do you do for the other 30 that you're in the gym? I'm used to going to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour and new to short workouts like this. So this was posted about yesterday's workout. So yesterday's workout was 21, 15, 9, 6, 3 of a deadlift, moderate deadlift, 185 for the gentlemen, 135 for women, and a 24-inch box jump or a 20-inch box jump. So a relatively, I think as they would say out in Australia, short and sharp, a relatively short and sharp couplet. So shorter time domain, high intensity, certainly not the sort of thing that's going to take you forever and have you living in the gym. And if somebody is new to CrossFit, then potentially, they're used to being in the gym every day, every single solitary day for a very long period of time. There's not a modulation or a variance in the time domains and what's happening each day. They know that when you go to the gym, you go for an hour, period, end of story, every single day. And so can be a little bit unfamiliar to them, and you can feel like, well, I must be missing out on something. This can't be enough. And this potentially could not happen just with somebody who is new to CrossFit, but potentially you could have been in CrossFit for a long time, but fallen into the old death by volume trap and just been killing yourself with volume for a long time, and then getting back to doing a short, punchy couplet and going home feels very foreign also. So we're going to basically cover CJ's question, which is, what do you do? If the workout takes you 6 to 10 minutes, what do you do for the rest of your time in the gym? So first of all, if you are doing varied programming, whoever in the world's writing it, it should have everything from short to medium to long time domains, and not just long, but every now and then you go quite long, and you'll have short time domains, and every now and then you'll have really short time domains, and everything in between. And the goal is to expose the athlete and develop an athlete with the broadest capacity possible. And by doing so, or to do so, we have to expose the athlete to a variety of stimuluses, intelligently designed, preferably, that cover a variety of time domains, loading, rep ranges, modalities, etc., etc. That's the goal. The goal is not to spend a specific amount of time in the gym. Okay? So that can be a mindset change right there. The goal is to do whatever we need to do today based upon what we did yesterday, the day before, and the day before, that when you look out the symphony of programming over the days, the weeks, and the months, that today delivered what it was supposed to. It accomplished its mission in the grand scheme of what we're trying to build, the sort of athlete that we're trying to build. And some days that might require that you're in the gym an hour. Some days that might require that you're in the gym far less than an hour. And both of those are okay if they're done intelligently, by design, and with a plan. But again, they can seem very unfamiliar with somebody kind of new to this whole world. I mean, short workouts that could have you in and out of the gym relatively quick. There's like the one I said that we did yesterday, the 21, 15, 9, 6, 3 deadlift box jump. Fran, obviously, jumps to mind. It's not going to take you an hour right there. SQT is another absolute beauty, depending upon your capacity. He mentioned a 6 to 10 minute time domain. DT could fall in there as well. We did a terrible one, I think it was last week. It was short and it was murderous. It was with a pair of dumbbells, and it was 15, 12, 9 of dumbbell thruster. So not even 21, 15, 9. There's the trap. The trap has been set. 15, 12, 9 of a dumbbell thruster. And I think it was after each set. Maybe it was before. But anyway, after or before each set was a 200-meter shuttle sprint, the very same one that you would do in SQT, 50 meters down and back twice. It was devastating and ruined my entire day. It did not take 5 minutes. Or I mentioned, the 10 by 100 meter sprints, which that's another classic workout that if somebody has been killing themselves with volume, they'll see 10 by 100 meter sprints on the docket for the day. And the first question is the most obvious question, which is, that's it? That's all we're going to do today? 10 by 100 meter sprints? Ugh, and they're already planning, like, what am I going to have to do after this workout? Because obviously the coach does not know how insanely fit I am, and that pouring my heart and soul into a 10 by 100 meter sprint is not going to be anywhere near enough. And of course, most of us, if we properly execute a 10 by 100 meter sprint day, we're done. We're done for the day. And the next 1 to 2 days, we wonder what happened to our glutes, to our hamstrings, and to our abdominals, because they feel like we did nothing but L-sit training and nothing but just glute ham raises and squats and deadlifts, because what's happening to our posterior chain, they're on fire. Yet we didn't even touch a barbell. We just brought some significant intensity to a series of 100-meter sprints. So, again, new athlete coming in, they don't quite get that yet. Now, spending a long time in the gym, when the heavy day rolls around, we're big on respecting the heavy day. It's going to take you a good solid hour to knock out a heavy day. So you'll be there plenty of time on those days for sure. So don't get me wrong with that. But on these shorter days, for a newer athlete by design, what they might not understand is they may not understand the general concept of intensity and how critical intensity is to driving results, how intensity leads to the good stuff. I know that's an oversimplification. And that how on any workout is going to have some degree of intensity expressed, be it a 5-minute workout, a 15-minute workout, a 25-minute workout, right? To accomplish work in some set period of time, some degree of power or intensity will be expressed. But by its very nature, as the volume tends to increase, in general the intensity tends to decrease, which is fine when we're intentionally building what we're doing for training to expose ourselves to all those different days. But when the day comes up, that it is, by design, a short day. You're not going to live all day in the gym. The athlete that's been around for a while hopefully can piece it together that the reason that this short workout is the only thing on the plan today is because relative to whatever capacity that I have, again, intensity is a relative thing, I'm supposed to bring the heat. And I'm supposed to bring the heat in a safe and appropriate fashion based upon your capacity, but I'm supposed to bring the heat in a way that when the workout's done, I won't wonder why anything else was programmed that day. But again, that's not a fault of the new athlete. The new athlete is just not indoctrinated yet into the CrossFit methodology, why we do what we do, etc., which is why the CrossFit Journal exists, why good coaches exist, why I try to make videos like this, why hopefully friends can help expose people to that as well. So, yes. Now, let's take CJ's question and answer it seriously, because it was a serious question, which is, what would I do? Okay, so I'm in the gym. CJ says I'm in the gym. It's a 6 to 10 minute workout. What am I supposed to do with the other 30 minutes that I have in the gym? JJ, I'm sorry. Please explain the shortcut through intensity. Okay, so the shortcut, intensity being the shortcut to the good stuff, is an oversimplification. So if you go to the classic CrossFit methodology journal, what you'll hear in the level 1 is that, this is the long line in the level 1, I'll try to remember it before I've had too much coffee, but that intensity is the independent variable most commonly associated with maximizing the rate of return on favorable adaptation. And that's a mouthful. You can find it in the CrossFit Journal. But intensity, and CrossFit defines intensity as, doing as power, so as force times distance over time. You do an amount of work, how fast you accomplish that work, that's the average power. Power is defined as intensity, so how quickly you accomplish that work is your intensity. And in general, being the independent variable, meaning it's the part of that equation that you can manipulate and see did it change the outcome. Independent variable most commonly associated, so happens most of the time, with maximizing the rate of return, so how quickly something happens, with favorable adaptation, and in this discussion or this topic, favorable adaptation would be something that you want to have happen. So you want to get stronger, you want to be more explosive, you want to increase your pull-ups, you want to, fill in the blank, you want to have better body composition. That is going to occur in general, again, this is an oversimplification, by approaching your workouts with more intensity compared to less intensity. That intensity is the good stuff. That intensity drives results. So that was the oversimplification I said earlier, that intensity leads to the good stuff, because I didn't define intensity and I didn't give the whole long spiel there. But yeah, dive into the CrossFit Journal. There's some really good stuff there as to how intensity helps that happen. So, but that might not be common knowledge to the new athlete, and hence they see a short workout specifically designed to be a very high intensity workout, critical to an overall well-rounded program, but they figure, I need more volume. This isn't going to do it. So that's where the question comes from. But like he says, if the workout takes you 6 to 10 minutes, what do you do for the other 30? I'm used to going to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour and new to short workouts like this. So, okay, here are serious answers to the question. What do you do after the workout? Cool down, stretch, and go home. I mean, that's answer number one, and that answer will fit the overwhelming majority of people that are real people living real lives with other responsibilities of work and mortgage and kids and Lord knows what else. That's it. We're probably not going to watch you on a live feed doing Fran. You're not a sponsored athlete. You're not putting food on the table based upon your physical prowess. You're trying to live a long, healthy, pain-free life and be as well-rounded as humanly possible. For most of us, cool down, stretch, go home, and you're good to go. And so on a shorter day like so, for example, well, I'll get to this in a second. On a shorter day like today, you're in and out. It doesn't take necessarily too long. And that's okay. And that can be a tough mindset to change, especially if you come from the high volume world. And I came from a high volume world, so I know exactly what you're talking about. The high volume world, I came from two of them. First of all, just, classic bodybuilding style workouts where Monday and Thursday was chest and tri. Tuesday and Friday was back and bi. Wednesday and Saturday was legs and abs. You'd sprinkle in 45 minutes of cardio on every single one of those days. I was in the gym 2 hours every single one of those days, but I'd do a set of 10 bench press, walk around for a minute or two, another set of 10, walk around for a minute or two, and then I had to do regular bench press, incline bench press like that, decline bench press like that, maybe the pec deck like that, maybe just something else like that. And you're in the gym this very, very long time. It took a long time to work out. Tons of volume, but very low intensity. And it's a heck of a mindset shift to now be in a world where you're going to be exposed to a high intensity, short time domain workout and try to learn that that's all I need to do today, and that's okay. You're going to feel like it's not, but you have to trust it. It works. It's working for millions of people around the world, and it will work for you as well. In the military, the military was just death by volume as well. If you weren't out doing something for multiple hours, it was not a workout. That was just it. And so I came from both those worlds, and diving into CrossFit, it hurt my brain. I thought I was going to fall out of shape immediately. I thought it was nowhere near enough training, and that a short 5-minute workout, there was no way that I should walk out of the gym after that. And now, fast forward 15 or 16 years of doing CrossFit, and I very much know that that's not the case, but it took a while to get there. And so if you yourself are there or your friends are there, education and exposure is, of course, the best thing to let them know the why. Why are we doing what we're doing, and why does it work? And so yesterday, here's what I did. I warmed up for that deadlift box jump workout, which took me a little under 6 minutes, so it was a short workout. I warmed up. Let's say the warm-up took me 15 minutes. I did the workout. Let's say it took me 6. So I'm 21 minutes into my quote unquote hour in the gym, and I'm done. I got nothing left. Back in the day, that would have bothered me. And now, if I am going to do some sort of accessory work, which I do not do all the time, because you do not need to do accessory work to be fit. You can just go home. But yesterday there was a little bit of posterior work on the docket that day. I didn't feel like doing it, so I didn't do it. But I saw my parallettes sitting on the shelf. I thought they looked lonely, and so I grabbed the parallettes and I did a little bit of L-sit work, which takes discipline because I hate working on my L-sit. I hate it. I despise it. But I understand that it's so darn helpful. Again, we say at Linchpin we do what is effective, not necessarily what's popular. And working on your L-sit is like a quintessential example of that. So I grabbed the parallettes, worked on my L-sit a bit. That did not take long. And then I stretched my hip flexors. I pedaled the bike for like 5 minutes to cool down, stretched my hip flexors, and walked out of my garage. And I bet all of that, 15-minute warm-up, 6-minute workout, 2 or 3 minutes playing with the L-sit. So let's say I'm at 24 minutes now. Pedal the bike for 5 minutes and maybe around 30 minutes. Stretched for 5 minutes, let's say. So I was probably in the gym 35 minutes total and went home. And that's perfectly good to go. Perfectly good to go. But again, it's taken me years to realize that that's perfectly good to go. Here's the only thing I would say. Hopefully you can avoid this trap. And it's a tough trap to avoid. As a new athlete, it's a tough trap to avoid, coming potentially from some arena of fitness that expose you to more volume on an everyday sort of basis. Oh, JJ. Okay, good. JJ says nailed it. So good. That was it. I'm glad that helps. Here's what I just would love for the new athlete to avoid this pitfall is don't try to needlessly fill the rest of that hour with something just to be able to look at a clock or your watch and say, okay, I was in the gym 1 hour. I did something for 1 hour, so that means fitness was achieved. Fitness it's not achieved based upon the volume of your work. It's based upon the quality of your work, and quite frankly, a lot of it's going to revolve around intensity. So if you feel the need to just unnecessarily fill that hour with more stuff, or heaven forbid, you do another actual tough workout, right? I mean, then for most regular humans, okay, you're on the slippery slope of doing too much, and you might get away with it today and tomorrow. You might get away with it next week. But if you are a regular human, and even a quite fit regular human, you're going to slowly start dipping your toe in the water of doing a bit too much. And since you didn't just do that one short, sharp workout that day and go home, you empty the tank a bit more unnecessarily on something else. Well, now you don't have as much left to give on the next day. That's going to affect it in some way, shape, or form. And then when the next short day comes along, if you throw something extra in there, you're emptying the tank a bit more. Versus not doing that and allowing yourself this beautiful cycle of highs and lows that when you walk into the gym on a short, just bomb, explosive day of a workout, you are ready to bring the heat because you haven't been just unnecessarily wearing yourself down day after day just for the sake of saying that you were in the gym an hour or whatnot. So please try to avoid that trap. If you're following some sort of programming, ideally it's from somebody that you trust, whoever that is, that you trust what they're doing. And if the workout is just a sub 5 minute or a 6 to 10 minute workout and they didn't program anything else, if you trust them, then there's most likely a reason. And that reason will become apparent the next day or several days later when you're asked to stomp the gas pedal down to the floor and you actually have the juice to do it because you just didn't squeeze yourself out to the last drop unnecessarily on a day that it wasn't required. So that's that. Yeah. Oh, Carlos, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. So that's it. It was a real question from an individual that I think a lot of people will benefit from. So I decided to make it a video. Have a great day. And today actually is another day where if you just looked at it, you'd be like, that's it? But oh, the veterans know the deal. Intensity will win the day. All right, have a great day, and we will talk again later.